Hello, beautiful souls. If you are walking this path of transformation, deepening your spirituality, and you identify yourself as a wayshower, a light worker, this video is for you. I've been called to share this video with you because as a light worker as well, we've been under attack. Now, this sounds so dramatic, but before I go there, let me define here what I mean when I say light worker, wayshower, so we don't grab these labels and get attached to and start forming another ego, which by the way, you're gonna do in this path because it comes with the territory. As we go deeper in this path of transformation, this spiritual path, the veils, the illusions, the tricksters can get trickier. The veils can get denser and we get caught in this spirituality veil and we don't even see is there. That's one of the reasons it's so important to work with a teacher, or at least to evaluate yourself every single day to see if you walk in the light path. And I'm going to give you some tips here how you evaluate yourself. So first of all, let me define what I mean by light worker, wayshower. That simply means you are somebody doing the deep work, healing childhood wounds. You're no longer a victim of your past. You are no longer in this place of pointing fingers to your mom, to your dad, to your ancestors, and blaming them for anything that has happened in your life. Being spiritual, like one of my teachers, Paul Chek, defines, is very simple. It's taking full responsibility for your life. That is not an easy task. That means you don't blame anything. You don't blame the government. You don't blame the president. You don't blame especially your mom and dad, which is the deepest work, the most important work that we do in this path of healing. As part of being a light worker, you start experiencing so much goodness, so much light, so much joy. You start returning to your heart. So it's natural that you start feeling more connection, more joy, more abundance, more lightness. And you can't help but wanting to help others because we call to serve. As you see what this work, what this light, as you purify your heart, your soul, your mind does to you, you can't help but want to serve others. So you become basically a lighthouse in this world. So this is not one of those titles that like you're going to go do a certification to become a light worker. You just become a natural light in this world. So that's what I mean by light worker or wayshower. Now, what it comes with this path, either you want or not, is also more darkness. Darkness is going to try to attack you. Now, I am not somebody who talks a lot about darkness, about the negative entities, forces that live in our planet, psychic entities, energies, thought forms that can attack our psyche or field. I don't talk a lot about that because number one, my focus is not on that. And number two, I'm not an expert on that. I'm not a shaman. I'm just somebody who walks this path and I have experienced enough darkness, enough forces hijacking my brain that I have a better understanding of what these energies are. And you might know this well. You might walk into a room, you feel really good, you feel joyful, and all of a sudden your mood changes like that. It might be some dark energies in the room that you're not even aware. That can happen. There's a lot of pollution in this invisible field, just like there's a lot of pollution in the physical world. Or like myself the other day, I was having a great day and all of a sudden I noticed my mood changed. And I noticed and I tracked back the moment that happened, and I was able to find the thought form, the thought that created that. And those thought forms, by the way, because we're not a victim, are coming from our own trauma or wounds. It comes from our fear. So I remember tracking back, I was comparing myself with some people, some other coaches, teachers, and in that moment, I open my field. You create, in a way, a leak in your field, a hole, and that's when some energies can grab us. Now, as my great teacher, my spiritual teacher always says, the darkness is here to serve the light. Now, there are different levels, different consciousness of darkness as well, but I'm going to keep this very simple, and I'm going to talk simply about this darkness that you can think as the falling angel that rejected basically humans, that still follows God, it still follows the source, it still works for source, but doesn't love humans, and yet is here serving us. Let me give an example. Usually you're going to experience a lot of darkness when you're about to have a breakthrough. When you face a thick veil of illusion, in the veil, you're going to encounter the illusion, which is the darkness, and also the truth. It's both because we live in a world of polarity. So that means the more darkness you're coming against, and I'm going to, describe how you know you caught by some darkness. When you have the darkness, because there's truth also, the more you focus in the moment, in the light within you, and this has nothing to do with this new age teaching, just good vibes, there's no darkness. There is. The more you walk this path, the more you're going to feel and see, and also being attacked by these invisible thoughts, entities, whatever you want to call. So I've been called to share this video so you're aware, because I'm watching on social media quite a few people, and sometimes even my own clients, quite a few people engaging in behaviors, actions that I know got them out of the path of light. They are caught by something. So that's why I'm sharing this video, because I got caught many times. It's a trap. Some of my clients are getting caught. I've seen people that I don't even know on social media with different, messages now that I unfollow them immediately, because like that is not light. They've been caught. And that's okay. Again, I only know this material because I've been caught myself. So just know that you're going to encounter in this path veils that is going to trick you, because the darkness, these energies, they become very subtle at times, and they're gonna feed you. They're gonna feed your ego in a way, and give you like this perception of righteousness. You are right. And that's when the arrogance starts to come. So here it is. How do you know you are being attacked, you're being hijacked, or distracted, whatever word you want to use? Because I know some people like attack is a very intense word. If you're feeling off and you are engaging in this following behaviors, pay attention to this, because that is a sign that you got detoured from the path. And my friends, my light workers, wayshowers, beautiful ones, we all do. And that just means we about to ascend again. We are hitting an obstacle, and we need to be very aware. We need to do our daily practices to be very aware, to pay attention to everything we do, and evaluate what is the energy underneath our actions. So these are the behaviors we're going to be engaging with when we are not in alignment with the light within us, the light that connects us with the source of all. But we are also that source, because we carry the light. We are the same intelligence. Number one, arrogance, attack. You are in arrogance when you start feeling, or perceiving, I should say, just because you're doing this work, you're better than others. Just because you're doing this work, you are closer to God than others. Just because you're doing this work, you deserve more. You should be rewarded. Quite the opposite. We don't do this work for rewards. We do this work because we want to be fully connected with the divine, the great divine, and the divine within us. So be aware. Arrogance is a huge component of these veils that we pierce through. If you're making yourself special because you're doing this work, you are caught. I have done that myself many times. and you start attacking others. And especially if people are, let's say, your parents or your partner or people from other political parties, if they behaving in a ways that trigger you, and you're going to react, and you're going to react through those lenses of spirituality. Be very careful with this. You're going to react from those lenses of spirituality. You're going to point fingers and say they are projecting, that this has nothing to do with you and is all of them, and you're going to attack. So what follows a lot of arrogance, its reaction is attacking. And my friends, just like A Course in Miracles teaches, when you attacking anyone, you attacking yourself. So when you attacking by judging, name calling, you project your anger, your guilt. There's something really happening inside you, but you're not able to see or to handle, or you are in your shadow, you're going to attack others. So I say this with a lot of compassion. We all do it. I done it. Just know that you got caught. So what do you do at that moment? Come back to the light. Go read Course in Miracles, or read a spiritual text. Read something that brings you back to the center. Call the light. Call Christ's light. Connect with the light again, and make a decision that moment to release all those behaviors, those thought forms. Your light is stronger than any darkness. So this is why the darkness serves the light. Because of the darkness of arrogance you saw when you were caught, and for that you became even more purified. And in that moment, you make a decision not to do that anymore. Just to keep clearing your language, the words you say to yourself, the words you say behind people's back, and even the words you say in front of them. So that's number one. Arrogance attack you off the path. That's simple. You're creating separation. Again, goes back to that specialness. I am so special because I'm doing all this work. I'm so special because I'm ascending. That is the trap of any light worker, any wayshower, is the trap of this path. So if you're separating, I done that. And I used to judge a lot of these political parties. We all won, but at the same time I was saying the others are not doing this work, and we are. I was creating separation as well. So it doesn't matter the intensity, it's all about the energy. There's no such a thing like, oh, that's just a little separation. It's not a separation like that. My beloved, separation is all about the energy underneath everything. So the moment I say others, I'm in separation. And I'm also making myself special, which is the ego, which is the dark aspect of the ego. The darkness, the shadow, and the ego, they walk hand to hand. So it's going to take advantage of our fragility or fragile ego at times, or insecurities. And especially if you're holding guilt and shame, those energies are very dense. So these thought forms are going to come and take advantage of you in a way. But at the same time, nothing can take advantage of you, nothing can use you unless you give him permission. So that's one of the reasons I'm also sharing this video, because these energies, these dark energies, become very subtle and tricky to catch at times, okay? And number 3 here, another sign that you might be caught is the pain body. The pain body meaning you might be experiencing a lot of physical pain, but I'm talking more about emotional pain, not even aware. You might be so distracted with the external world. You might be so distracted pointing fingers to your mom, pointing fingers to your dad, pointing fingers to the president, pointing fingers to your neighbor, that you're using that to distract yourself from feeling your pain body. I'm using the language of Eckhart Tolle, the pain body, the ego, the small self, the lower self. So I'm not talking right now about physical injuries as a lower self, but I'm just talking more about the emotional and mental and the spiritual even pain body, which is the energies in your body. So pay attention to that. If you're feeling separated, and again, arrogance has a very different language. In the language of arrogance, we're gonna say, I don't need anyone, or watch me. and see what I'm gonna do. My biggest vengeance is gonna be to be very successful and you watch me. That's all arrogance is speaking. So if your language is not a language of love and compassion, and people love talk about boundaries now, like boundaries. I gotta set boundaries. If you're not setting boundaries from a place of love and compassion, you're setting boundaries from that place of arrogance, you are off the light path. And again, it's okay. I'm just here holding signs and say, hey, come back here. You just got lost a little bit. I have got lost myself. So setting boundaries out of reaction, out of projections, is not really setting a boundary. It's simply you reacting out of your wound, you acting out of the wounded inner child that moment. So the difference is setting loving boundaries can sound as simply as, hey, a lot of times it's protecting people from ourselves. Boundary can sound like this: I am very upset right now. I'm feeling very triggered by what's happening right now, and I need to remove myself from this situation. Maybe we don't talk for a few days, and it's really about what's happening inside me, and I need to just be quiet for a while. That is setting a loving boundaries. But if you're setting boundaries, and even if the boundary comes out of anger, because anger can be a very healthy thing too. If somebody is reacting towards you, well, the last thing, first of all, is to go and react against, because they are in their pain body. They are in the past, in their projections, in their darkness at the moment. You don't want to engage with that. You just take yourself out of the situation. But if you have to set a boundary out of anger because somebody's really crossing a line, set the boundary in the moment, meaning our conversation is over right now, I don't want to talk anymore. Take yourself out of the situation. You can say, please don't contact me. Yes, you have the right to do that, but do from a place of love. When you know you're setting boundaries and you're no longer in place of love, going back to what I just mentioned a few minutes ago, you're attacking. You're making the situation all about them. You are blaming them, which means you are in a state of guilt. And you cannot blame anyone without actually being in a state of guilt yourself. So guilt, because it's very uncomfortable, guilt is a feeling of shame, is very uncomfortable, is one of the biggest projections I see in this world. So that's why I love the teachings of A Course in Miracles, because it's going to walk you through the entire training of the mind when it comes to guilt projection. So if you're caught, beloved, go back to Course in Miracles, and again, go back to your teacher. If you might like, come back and have a session with me. We can do some clearing together. And I'm sharing this video out of love, out of compassion. And yes, as a little warning, as a little caution, Lightworkers and Wayshowers are being attacked. Why is this happening? Our energies are very amplified right now. Very, very speedy, amplified, which means everything is going to rise in us, not just the light, but also the darkness. I want you to think of us like the ocean. Let's say the sea rises, the ocean rises, and the waves are being used to purify the ocean. So let's say the ocean's us and the ocean's ascending, and we're going to see more beautiful dolphins, more beautiful birds flying over the ocean. We're going to see those beautiful whales, but also on shore, we're going to see the waves pushing all the debris, all the trash out of the ocean, because it's purifying. So we're going to see the light, the beautiful wildlife, and we're going to see also all the debris and the trash. That's kind of what we're going through right now. These energies of ascension are purifying us, and it's going to bring the light, and it's going to bring the dark in us. And I see a lot of Wayshowers rejecting the darkness. That's why I wanted to share those behaviors, those signs that you got off the path. So come back to the path. That's how we learn. That's how we become more spiritually resilient. If this video resonated with you, you're seeing other of your friends in this path, please share this video. This message is very important. If you have any question how to work with these thought forms, what is the best way to protect yourself, to stay centered, send me a message. We can book a call, and I will be happy to help you as I help many more light workers and way showers right now on the path. Much love to you. Mwah.